Boys and girls, my name is Prashant and I'm live from Lehza. Today's conversation is quite interesting. Um, you know, we have been around pets for a long point of time. People have pets, but then in last few years things have changed. People, like to raise their pets next to their children, and rather raise their children next to their pets, and like to call themselves as pet parents. So, pet parenting has changed, but has the industry? And this is a question where I'm going to talk to most of the people, or rather, I would like that to be conveyed to the people when I'm having this conversation with a wonderful friend of mine. Her name is Apoorva, and she's joining with me, and she has already joined us. I'm just going to send her a live request. Just a second. Just a second. Yes, it's happening. It might take some time.
Hi.
Hi, Apurva. Welcome.
Hi, how are
I
you?
I am good. I'm wonderful. And right before you joined, I casually mentioned about like pet parenting and how things have changed over a period of time. Like good old days back then, people used to have pets. People used to
Correct.
like they loved having pets. But in last 5 or 6 years, or probably slightly more than that, what we have seen is that people love to raise their kids next to the pets that they have and like to call themselves as pet parents.
Parents.
And now that you have joined, I would also like to mention a little bit about you, that I know you as a friend, and I also know you that you run House of Furs. That that's a place where you have curated range of products that can be bought for the pets that people have, dogs and cats and whatnot. So now, from your perspective, if I have to understand that, what is this change that has happened in the industry that that you would like to talk about a little bit, or how even this thought came of curating this range of product that you have? Like, what is that change that you have seen? Perhaps if you can kind of talk about, that would be wonderful to hear a little bit from you.
Sure, sure. Like you said, the pet industry has actually evolved big time. So I remember there was time earlier when, the pets, they were an animal of outside the house. They were not
Hmm.
permitted to come inside. अभी क्या
Correct.
change हुआ है कि the pets, they have started living with us inside
Hmm.
our homes, right?
Hmm.
So the narrative has completely changed, from owning a pet to actually living with one, right?
Hmm.
Abhi people think on the lines of ki what should I get to make my pet happier, rather than thinking earlier they would think कि अच्छा क्या चाहिए उसको survive करने के लिए, तो उतना ही sufficient हो जाता था.
Huh.
So I think it has, and also I think one aspect to look at it is also that people have started focusing on aesthetics. So in
Correct.
terms of how is my pet, looking like, मैं उसकी grooming चाहिए और उसका dress
Hmm.
up चाहिए, right?
Hmm.
And also the kind of products that I am, carrying and in my house for him. तो वो good looking होनी चाहिए. मेरा घर good looking होना चाहिए. मेरा घर में pet है and beautiful home.
Wonderful. I think this actually, kind of makes me a little bit more curious, because you mentioned that, it's about the aesthetics.
Yeah,
What we have also lately realized, that it's no more about, just food or health or comfort, but it has also gone to a, where people are talking about the emotional well-being of,
absolutely.
and behavior of their pets. So
Yeah.
now with this, when did you feel or you realize that it's not anymore only about products, but it is also about, like having thoughtful ones?
Yeah. So I'll tell you how I started this journey. I was
Hmm.
working as a buyer in fashion retail.
Hmm.
I have been around pets since my childhood. So it just so happened that one fine day I decided that it's time that I adopt one myself.
Hmm.
अब वहां पे स्टार्ट हुआ the actual journey. So that was a time when I started figuring out what more can I give, right? The basic toys I have, but these are not sufficient enough. What about, I mean, he's happy, but he's not happier. That is something which is missing. Same type के toys मिल रहे हैं. colors different hai, same plastic hai in, across in India.
Hmm.
Then I did some research and I figured out कि भाई global market में there are quite a few products that are, very different, modern, upgraded, very thoughtful. So then I thought कि यार मतलब this is the that was a moment then I realized कि it is time for me to take that chance to
Hmm.
provide these products to my pet and other Indian pets also. So the gap is, Prashant, where I find it is right now most market is filled with a lot of products. ठीक है कि बहुत सारी balls हैं, plushies हैं, tuck toys हैं, teasing toys हैं. But now I think the focus has gradually started moving into thoughtful products in terms of upgraded है. कुछ tech है उसमें, gadgets हैं, which is saving you a lot of manual work, right? मतलब इसमें क्या है कि यू कैन गो ऑन कैरिंग ऑन विद योर वर्क, ऑफिस का हो गया, घर का हो गया, रेगुलर
Hmm.
चोर्स हो गए, while your pet, you have ensured कि your pet has that product which will take care of his needs as well. Right. And routines. When you talk about routines, you have working parents, professionals,
Correct.
right, who
Correct.
have dogs. So products that look into that help you, keep your routine as it is without, for example, you running late
Hmm.
to get home and it's time for them to eat. So, there are products to support that. There is, apart from just play,
Hmm.
they have needs which is, supporting their natural behavior, the way they sleep, the way
Hmm.
they eat, the way they drink water, right? The way they play.
Hmm.
Basically, curiosity ho gayi, their movement. So
Hmm.
all that also has to be, considered when, you're getting a product. It is not just not about play anymore.
Getting it, getting it. So largely, it's not just only about having pets, but also about changing lifestyle and
Mm,
trying to be empathetic with them. It's not just about, healthcare or meeting the basic requirements of having a pet, but
absolutely.
rather, being empathetic so that it integrates well in both the lifestyles. Lovely,
Totally.
lovely,
Mm,
lovely. So with respect to now, this is a human shift that we have seen over, few years, and that's very much evident. And now that the kind of, products that you would have curated, the range of products that you have. So if I have to talk about product with purpose, and like we know that there are so many brands existing, huge brands, giant brands as such, which have
yeah.
thousands of products on the shelf. How is it that you would have curated each of these products? So why I'm asking this question is, and why I'm interested to know about this, Apurva, is because I saw some of your videos that you keep on posting on House of First.
Yeah.
And there was one of those videos which I earlier also mentioned that kind of intrigued me to understand that
Yeah.
as pet parents, like you told,
Yeah.
people have lifestyles where both the parents are working.
Yeah.
And then it's not just about having everything for them in the house, but also making sure that emotionally the
Of course.
pets are also equally involved. And
Yeah.
for that, the kind of products that you have curated. So can you cite certain examples or things that you would have picked and, basis which you have created that range, and how, if you can also talk about some examples with any of your customers, consumers that you would have and their experiences, I would really love to know. And I'm sure that people would like to know that.
Right. 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 So, I think curation is something that I looked, I preferred over marketplace
Hmm.
when I was
Hmm.
starting. I was planning to start up. Was the primary reason is कि while too many options is good, but
Hmm.
what happens is when you actually go to shop, right, the actual essence था जो तुम्हारी need थी
Huh.
वो it gets lost, you get distracted. So जो तुम खरीदने आए थे वो not necessarily that you will go back, you taking the same product because
Hmm.
there are so many options. So however started with the aim that we are giving you a curated list, a curated pick of thoughtful products which we placed together
Hmm.
so that unka it is saving them time and uncertainty.
Hmm.
So House of Furs का curation में बताती हूँ. Basically, House of Furs is not just selling products. It is selling a lifestyle. It is it is selling an aspiration, a way of living with pets in 2026, right?
Hmm.
So my products are more to do with, so like I said, the gaps that I noticed for
Hmm.
each and every aspect. For example, let's say if your dog is hyperactive, ठीक है, and anxious, what would you do? मतलब तुम कहोगे कि यार ये तो मतलब अभी तक ठीक था, अभी recently इसका ये behavior change हो गया है. You would not
Hmm.
know why. There are products to actually curb their, this aspect as well. For example, if it's a dog, you have an arc launcher, one of my favorite, personal favorite products. So apart from the regular walks, their routine and everything, अगर तुमने 15 minute का भी arc launcher कर दिया, it is an automated ball, automated device जिसमें आप ball put कर रहे हो and the fetch session is everything is hassle free and everything. इसमें आपका क्या होगा? The dog will get mentally satisfied. उसका
Ah.
mental stimulation control होता है. Stuff like that. For cats, there are products, they are at the end of the day predatorial animals, right? So prey
Hmm.
catching instincts, they all that has to be, considered. So I have toys such as the whack-a-moles to service that. कि उनको उनको वो फील होता है that they are still catching a prey. क्या है अंदर, we have to figure it out, and that curiosity to keep that alive. So yeah, and then the sleeping aspect of it. Like you were said, one of the interesting products that you
Hmm.
found was the window bed, right, for cats.
Correct, correct.
वही बात आती है, the natural behavior for cats. They prefer places with a view, places that are elevated. ठीक है, by default. So I have now focused कि ठीक है, products such as that hammock, which gives them that view and which is at a height. So which is
Correct.
also providing them their natural behavior, which is saving space for you. So all that. So each and every product has made it has earned its place on how the first.
Lovely, lovely. So largely every product that you're talking about has an experience to share, and it is solving one or the other problem. And not just aesthetic, rather it's a larger thing here
Very functional.
for
Yes.
the very functional for the pet parenting.
Yes.
Now, it brings me to some follow-up questions, Apurva. Like, um, again, why I'm asking this question is tying it back to what we have seen earlier versus now. Like you rightly mentioned, your products are more from the perspective of 2026.
Yeah.
So, what are the biggest misconceptions that Indian, pet parents still have when they raise their pets? So
Hmm.
that is, and what's the thing? Almost every first-time pet parents, they get wrong. So, what are these things that probably
Hmm.
you feel?
I think pet parents in India still believe in a lot of myths,
Hmm.
even today. I think they should understand the fact that good care and love, it is not limited to just food and shelter. कि हाँ खाना खिला दिया, उसको एक shelter दे रहे हैं, walk करा दी, and that's enough. Walks, for example, just walks is not enough for dogs, right?
Hmm.
For
Hmm.
cats, scratch mats, scratch pads, they are not enough for cats.
Hmm.
So, too many products, too many balls, too many toys make no sense. At the end of the day, you have to identify your problem, that need, and then have to buy thoughtfully, keeping so that you land up with better products, more useful ones. um, for example, let's say routines. We have products, that can be operated remotely. So if you're not at home and if you want to feed your, dog or cat, there are products to, service that. There are products to, like I said, the natural behaviors and everything. So, so today I think they need to understand that, even pets deserve the same. Quality, the same design, the same thought process, which we invest in our own lives. It is
Hmm.
not कि भाई ऊपर ऊपर से बस रख लिया है and हमारा responsibility खत्म.
Makes sense very much. I think again largely ये जो एक misconception है या myth है जो आपने बोला, that's very true and that's there, and that's again that I know some of my friends who initiated with like fostering the pets initially and then
Yeah,
having the pets. So
yeah.
उनके साथ भी मैंने ये देखा कि कुछ ऐसे भी थे जिनके लिए उनको they go through some emotional therapy. तो
Hmm.
अब उस लेवल पे जब पेट पेरेंटिंग पहुंच गई है सो इट शुड नॉट जस्ट बी अबाउट बाइंग प्रोडक्ट्स एंड लाइक व्हेन यू गेट इनटू अ स्टोर वहां पे 500 से 1000 प्रोडक्ट्स पड़े रहते हैं शेल्फ पे बट देन यू हैव टू बी वेरी थॉटफुल अबाउट इट दैट
Hmm.
व्हाट यू आर बाइंग एंड हाउ यू आर बाइंग.
Correct, correct.
अच्छा एक चीज बताइए agar if anybody starts or is thinking of being a having a pet at home,
Hmm.
from rupees 5,000 to, let's suppose, 20,000, or rather I would even go less, 500 to 5,000, and then 5,000 to 20,000, as
Mm-hmm.
in scaling it from 0 to 1 to 1 to 10 and then 10 to 100. अगर आप वैसे देखो कि अगर
Mm-hmm.
मुझे एक पेट लानी है अपने घर पे, तो हाउ इज और व्हाट शुड बी माय वे ऑफ बाइंग प्रोडक्ट्स फॉर अ पेट?
Um, सबसे पहले तो I would say refer to House of Furs. उसमें we have a curated, a proper curated pick, right in place on our homepage,
Hmm.
जहाँ पे it is, specially made for new pet parents. It's called new pet parent starter kit.
Hmm.
So it has those products which we have identified are, the foremost things, that a puppy or a kitten would really require in their lives. So,
Lovely.
yeah.
Lovely. अच्छा, एक चीज बता. So now that you yourself you have been pet parent for a long point of time, there are so many products that we find cute. But then
Hmm.
ऐसा कुछ होता है कि हमें तो पसंद आ जाता है, but then हमारे pets को it's like they might not like it, they might hate it. ऐसे क्या
Hmm.
होते हैं? Just a fun
Yeah.
question.
आई थिंक पता है क्या होता है कि एज अ पेट ओनर
Hmm.
इट इज नॉट जस्ट कि लाइक आई सेड कि ठीक है ऊपर ऊपर से हम मतलब अपना बेस्ट दे रहे हैं.
Hmm.
द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज टू मेक दैट बॉन्ड विद देम,
Hmm.
राइट, टू अंडरस्टैंड, क्योंकि एवरी पेट इज डिफरेंट. आप पता है ब्लॉग्स पे एंड रील्स पे वीडियोस पे जाके गूगल पे जाके रिसर्च करके एक हद तक हेल्प मिलती है, बट टू एक्चुअली नो हाउ योर पेट इज, व्हाट ही वुड लाइक और नॉट, ये आपका डिपेंड करता है हाउ यू हैव कनेक्टेड विद हिम.
Hmm.
You will be the first person which he will inform, your pet will inform if something is not right and if the product is not right. I
Hmm.
am reminded of a time long back, not very recent, when I had purchased this very cute toy which was a tug toy. Okay, an
Hmm.
automatic तो नहीं था उसमें, but it was
Hmm.
a tug toy with suction, right? तो
Hmm.
क्या है कि मैंने कहा अच्छा यार ये तो मेरा मतलब मैनुअल वर्क सेव करेगा. वो नहीं तो मेरे हाथ में रखी होती है रोप, तो वो खींचता है, उसमें टक होता है. इससे बेटर है कि वो सक्शन उससे फ्लोर पे लग जाता था. एंड देन वो उसमें एक हैंडल था, तो उसको ही वाज सपोज टू पुल इट.
Hmm.
नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड, मैंने बड़े अच्छे से, आई वेरी ईगर कि ठीक है आई विल मेक हिम यूज इट एंड ऑल. जब वो आया एंड आई प्लेस्ड इट, he came, he sniffed, held it for a while and left off. He did not like it at all. मतलब आई वाज लाइक सो एक्साइटेड कि बहुत इंट्रीगिंग प्रोडक्ट है, लेट्स गिव इट अ ट्राई, और ऐसा हुआ. सो व्हाट हैपेंड वाज दिस वाज प्योर प्लास्टिक. ठीक है, उसमें मुझे भी द मोमेंट यू ओपन अनबॉक्स्ड इट, उसमें वो प्लास्टिक का वो आ रहा था, राइट. तो एंड हमें इतना आ रहा था, तो इमेजिन उन लोगों का तो ऑलरेडी सेंसर्स बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं लाइक नोज में, तो उनको
Correct.
भी ज्यादा ही.
Correct.
तो
Correct.
दिस डिड नॉट वर्क. सो इट हैपेंस क्वाइट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. इसीलिए इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि वेन एवर यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग समथिंग इनटू समथिंग इन अ पेट प्रोडक्ट, you have to be confident of where you're buying from, apart from what you're buying from. एट हाउस ऑफ फर्स्ट हम वही देख रहे हैं कि वी हैव मेड श्योर कि ऐसी छोटी छोटी चीजें, एक तो प्लास्टिक हम लोगों का एकदम नो नो है ऑलमोस्ट, मतलब वेरी फ्यू थिंग्स जहाँ पे हमारा प्लास्टिक चीजें होंगी, बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट इज प्लास्टिक. तो यस, इट डिपेंड्स a lot on the brand, on the manufacturers. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. I mean, wonderful that you brought this point about House of First, because, I mean, we started from human shift to, pet parenting. And then we also spoke about empathy, we spoke about care, we spoke about shared experiences. Now, this brings me to a question. I mean, kind of, again, very whimsical to ask things like that. But then, agar baat kar sakte,
हाँ
if
हाँ
pet
हाँ.
could have, if they would have been speaking, ऐसा
Yeah.
कौन सा प्रोडक्ट होता जो वो सबसे पहले बोलते हैं मुझे ये खरीद के दो? लाइक दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई एम आस्किंग यू, ये एक पेट पेरेंट ही बता सकता है. दैट्स द एम्पैथी, दैट्स द शेयर्ड एक्सपीरियंस दैट आई वांट टू नो.
You want to do from House of Cards? Yeah, in general.
आप बताओ. ऑफ कोर्स आई वुड लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम हाउस ऑफ फर्स्ट, एंड दैट्स द रीजन वी आर हियर.
Yes, yes. So number one, सबसे पहले if they could talk, स्पेशली इन केस ऑफ डॉग्स, वो कहते खाना दे दो, नो मैटर व्हाट प्रोडक्ट्स हो कि नहीं, उनको खाना चाहिए, नो मैटर हाउ फुल दे आर.
Hmm.
व्हेन इट कम्स टू प्रोडक्ट्स, Jazz is, इसके दो products are he's die-hard fans of. He's
Hmm.
totally divana. For number one, there's a product of us called the dash ball, right? And it is an automatic ball. It functions on a remote. You can
Hmm.
change the modes, the speed, the movement through the remote. It is fully controllable. And dogs, they go crazy for it. I have used it for trials also on Jazz also. They go crazy
Hmm.
for it. Number two is I think the Arc launcher again, because it is ball, it is fetch, it is us, the interaction. So yes,
Great. I think people should visit House of Furs, your website, and they can look at the curated range that you have.
first, yeah,
And I think a lot of questions that I have asked genuinely comes from a thought process of being a pet parent. And I'm sure people who would be looking for it, बहुत सारे options हैं आज के दिन में market में, लेकिन ये curated range जो है, ये जो collection है हर जगह नहीं मिलेगा. And that's
of
where
course,
this question, I kind of raised, and I wanted to bridge that human shift to the business ideology, or rather the business strategy of yours that you would have, is where I brought it. And usi dauran, I wanted to ask some questions from behind the curtains. For example, आपके जितने भी कंज्यूमर्स रहे होंगे, जो भी प्रोडक्ट्स उन्होंने खरीदा होगा, तो उनके कुछ ऐसे स्टोरीज हैं जहाँ पे किसी भी कस्टमर ने बताया हो, अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया हो विद एनी ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट दैट यू वुड हैव that they would have bought from you, or anything in general. It's not necessarily only about the product, but also about the happiness that they are sharing with their pets. And that's a shared experience with you. So
yes,
if there's anything that you would
yes,
like to share.
yes. Customers, I think they are the most
Mm,
important aspect of this entire business for us.
mm,
We make sure that we are always in touch with them,
mm,
even after sales. Before sales तो हो ही जाता है. Right after sale, that relationship builds, right? And
mm,
then we make sure कोई भी issue है, कुछ भी है, we are there to, solve and to also experience the joy that our product has, brought to them. Each customer is very different. Some come to, just buy a product to which makes their pet, which would make their pet happier. कुछ
mm,
होते हैं, they are solving a problem. Uh, some are a recent pet parent, इसलिए
mm,
आते हैं. I remember there was a time, one of our products, Aura Fountain, which is an automatic wireless fountain.
mm,
So it gives the, again, natural behavior, जिसमें the pets, they like to drink from flowing water. So
mm.
this gives that feeling to the pets.
Lovely.
And another thing, it is wireless. Not many fountains in the market are wireless that you will see. It is sensor activated, which is, it switches off the times when nobody is around, and it activates on proximity. Another thing which this customer had brought to our notice was that
Mm,
while the features and everything were great, this fountain, it kind of creates a cool, it makes the surrounding cooler. ठीक है. So what happens, because वो पानी जो इसमें से flow हो रहा है,
mm,
it is kind of keeping the heat away, and it is kind of maintaining a cooler surrounding
mm.
around it. So, which is very helpful for for pets during, especially during summer heat, right? So this was something that we did not know earlier, and this was a kind of insight that we were really happy to find. So yeah, and I think this is the process where we are kind of becoming a small part of the relationship between the customer and their pets, right? And we just take this responsibility very seriously.
I always believe that, it's customers that teaches you to, make your business, and not
Totally.
mostly that, business teaches the customer. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
of course. Now, since you mentioned about the relationship that, you are building with each and every of your customers. तो एक मैं वापस से प्रोडक्ट पे क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूँ, एंड दैट आई वांट टू लिंक इट विद द ट्रस्ट दैट यू वुड बी प्रोबब्ली बिल्डिंग. सो ऐसे कई बार होते होंगे दैट यू वुड हैव that you might think that कुछ products आपको ज्यादा revenue generate करेंगे आपके लिए शायद, but then you still reject those products. तो ऐसे
Sorry?
कुछ होते हैं, कुछ products अगर आप अपने website पे रखोगे that might bring you more sales or might easily help you generate revenue, but
Mm-hmm.
then still you reject those products. ऐसे कई options रहे होंगे आपके पास, I believe कई बार होते
Um,
होंगे.
हाँ हाँ होते हैं.
एंड शायद एक ये भी रीजन हो सकता है कि जब आप इतना केयरफुली क्यूरेट करते हो तो ऑटोमेटिकली कस्टमर्स का वो ट्रस्ट आप पे हाउस ऑफ फर्स्ट पे वो आ जाता है.
Of
So
course.
I
हाँ.
again like kudos to you that you have brought this and you kind of shared your experience that you have had with different pet parents, different customers, and
Right.
largely ऐसा कभी कुछ हुआ कि कोई पेरेंट ने आपको कुछ सिखाया हो लाइक इन टर्म्स ऑफ जैसे किसी ने आपसे कोई प्रोडक्ट लिया या नो विथ एनी फॉर्म ऑफ डिस्कशन कि
Yeah.
अच्छा ये सही नहीं है इसको और बेहतर हो सकता है, ऐसे कुछ एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं आपके पास, होते हैं कन्वर्सेशंस?
Right. Every now and then,
हम्म.
the times that we converse with
हम्म.
our customers, कुछ ना कुछ insight तो for sure ही मिलता है. Be it around how we are positioning ourselves, be
हम्म.
it around something that we are missing on, कोई gap या कोई product. I
हम्म.
remember there was a time when one customer, they had got a dash ball for their dogs, two
हम्म.
dogs. Uh, क्या था कि since the size of that ball is huge, वो remote
हम्म.
operated ball है and it's a huge thing. While the pets and the pets of the customers were small breed. So while they totally enjoyed it, running around it and all, but एक tendency होती है for dogs to actually hold it in their mouth, right? Which was something that they were not able to do well
हम्म.
because it was bada for them.
हम्म.
So yeah, stuff like that keep coming up, and then we have now mentioned on our website कि भाई this is not for small dogs since
हम्म.
they will not be able to pick it up in their mouth. So it is
हम्म.
for medium to large dogs. I think trust plays a very important role here, and along with education, because the I remember initially there were times when me and my husband would literally go to the customers' houses to deliver demos, क्योंकि
Lovely.
हमारे products they're very unique, very modern, right? New to the market and gadgets हैं. So that education to make them understand कि how this product functions and क्यों चाहिए हमें ये product and all that, that demo is really important. So for the same reason, we also have sections in we have a live demo on the website right now also that anybody can book and know about the product more.
Correct. I have seen few of them, and that's kind of intriguing, and that's where. So initially, I first saw your Instagram where you kind of put some videos where there are your pets and you are playing along with having fun inside the house, and then
Yeah.
from there, when I went to the website, I saw some other demos, and
Hmm.
that was where I actually kind of felt the need to have this conversation with you, and I'm kind of enjoying it. And with this, I'm going to have a few more questions for you, Apurva. This is I have curated in form of a rapid fire. I mean, it's
Oh,
up to
okay.
you, however you want to answer. It's very few
Sure.
questions that I have. So again, so one product every dog parent should own.
Hmm. In case of dogs and cats, whack-a-moles for sure. We have whack-a-moles specially
Ah,
designed for cats, specially designed for dogs. They should definitely have them. It
one
it it
product
supports their natural behaviors to quite a lot of extent.
most underrated purchase.
Underrated purchase,
Yeah,
meaning as in for
like people, it's necessary, but then people do not think of it.
hmm, I think balls.
Hmm.
Balls is something that and especially dogs they love,
Hmm.
and वो तो मतलब yeah, so I would say ball.
Most overrated purchase.
Overrated. Overrated is mm, I think raincoats because Because what happens at the end of the day, yes, it saves you the
Hmm.
it saves the dog from spilling the mud on them and all
Hmm.
that. But
Hmm.
वो dirt तो आती ही है, I mean, no matter what. And also the mittens, the mittens for dogs.
Huh.
I think it is very uncomfortable for dogs unless उन्होंने बहुत practice कर ली है and they are kind of okay with wearing it. उनके पॉज पे द शूज, मतलब हम ह्यूमनाइज करने के नाम पे उनको पहना तो देते हैं, एंड yeah, it saves them from heat, from dirt, but it is overrated. I think it is not something that you for sure need.
Very genuine answer. I mean, I was wondering that why would I take the natural or the core nature of an at the end of the day,
Yes,
a pet, an animal. Why would I take that core nature of that? They love, they enjoy in a certain way. I can't
yes,
take that away just in order to humanize that. Lovely.
बिल्कुल,
Very genuine.
बिल्कुल.
Very genuine.
Hmm.
Okay. What is the biggest myth that you think it is about with respect to pets and pet parenting?
Myth.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the point that good care is just food and shelter. It
Hmm.
goes way beyond that. They should understand the fact that the kind of quality, the design, the thought process that goes into our lives, our own lives, pets also deserve the same thing. It is not that upar se ho gaya, and you're just providing them with the basics, and you're at the end of the day, and then you'll be left wondering, क्या मेरा पेट का बिहेवियर चेंज हो गया है, इट यूज्ड टू बी वेरी स्वीट अर्लियर, अभी इसका बहुत बदमाश हो गया है, इससे कंट्रोल नहीं होती अपनी एक्साइटमेंट, या काटने लग गया है, एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Achha, one habit every pet parent needs to start this right away.
Bonding, interaction is key, when it comes to raising a pet. um, like I said, every pet is different. ठीक है,
Hmm.
तो उनका what do they prefer? What is it that makes them anxious? How would once you start understanding how they feel and all, only then will you be able to actually work on, correcting it. So it is very important for you to have that bond to be able to understand कि आपका pet आपसे क्या कह रहा है, right? Since they should understand you are the only world for them, they don't know
Correct.
anything else, आप ही
Correct.
उनकी दुनिया हो, right? So yeah, so this is how they should
Such a
take it.
beautiful answer, Apurva. Yeah, exactly. Like, sometimes people have pets, but then they do not care. Like I have seen this around myself that,
Yeah.
having a pet just because you think that's the aesthetic of your house, but
Hmm.
not having a proper care. I mean,
Yes.
lovely, lovely answer, Apurva. Okay, what is one thing that every pet parent should stop doing it?
Stop doing it, I don't know. I mean, I think every pet parent, most of them try to do the best for their pets,
That's true. That's true.
but
That's very subjective. That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. There is somebody named Himanshu. He has asked for a what's top selling product right now.
Oh, for in case of dogs, Arc Launcher, which is a hit among
Hmm.
our customers,
Hmm.
because वो automatic है, wireless है, so it and it has multi functions. In case you have skipped walks, ये आपको उनको exercise कराने में काम आता है. Other times it works, it helps as a curiosity getter. So all that things. For cats, I think this one, the swing bed that we have, which is a tabletop, very portable tabletop swing bed. वो थोड़ा सा ना cradle करता है. So it gives the cats and dogs, they want to just be stick around you. जहाँ पे भी हो तुम घर के कोने में, वहाँ पे वो लोग पहुंच जाएंगे and रहेंगे. So वो क्या रहता है कि it is very portable. You can put it on next to your laptop if you're working on the table, और आराम से वो थोड़ा थोड़ा cradle भी होता है. It gives them
Hmm.
that kind of you know uh, warmth and lounge wali feeling. So these two are the most favorite products right now.
Lovely. So I'm towards asking one last question here, Apurva. If you could if you could leave every pet parent watching this with one thought, what would it be?
Um, yes, I think number one, like I said, work with your pet, understand them because it is a responsibility that you've taken for an entire lifetime. What happens is it's almost like, raising a human child. The same amount of dedication, commitment, ये सब same होता है. In fact, human babies के case में ये होता है, they grow up, they eventually grow up and they get independent, right? ये तो हमेशा बच्चा बच्चा ही बन के रहते हैं forever. They will always be dependent on you, and they will always, you will be their god for their entire lives. So, work with your dog is number one. Number two, try to understand कि आपका basic nutrition से ज़्यादा, basic needs से ज़्यादा उनका क्या क्या important चीजें हैं, the thoughtful products that we talked about, which is very important. And number three, how to conveniently gel your routine with the pets. So in terms of get products which are not clashing with your daily life, कि आपका जाना बाहर बंद हो गया है या आपको घर पे बुलाना लोगों का बंद हो गया है because your pet is misbehaving or stuff like that. Get products that make your life easier. And of course, yes, if you have a pet at home, your home does not need to look messy anymore. We are in 2026. Brands like House of Furs have beautiful
Definitely.
aesthetic products that you should go for, definitely.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Apurva. I genuinely enjoyed this, having this conversation with you. It was not just about business, it was about, empathy, it was about trust, it was about thoughtful design, it was about, shared experiences and understanding people with the lens of business. And right, like you mentioned, everybody to browse House of First. What I'm going to do is I'll definitely attach the link of House of First when I post this
Thank
conversation.
you so much.
And but of course, this is also to the people that, whoever have joined, and I'm sure a lot of people would get to see this once it is there on our profiles. This video goes on our profiles. It probably gives a very different perspective when you speak to an entrepreneur at the same time who is also a pet parent
Yes,
to understand how different, how one is this business, how is this industry grooming, and at the same time, having that shared experience with your own pets, and trying to use that and take that as a lens to build your range of products.
yes.
So, in case people who have joined and if they love this conversation, if they find it insightful for anybody, I saw few comments where, there's this friend of mine, Himanshu, he mentioned that he knows somebody who is an influencer and, at the same time, who has a channel on YouTube. There will be many such people around. Please add comments and share with the people who thinks or who are looking forward to be a pet parent. That would be great and lovely. So I really enjoyed the show, having this conversation with you,
Thank you
Apurva.
so much.
Thanks you
Same
so
here,
much for joining.
Prashant. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks everybody. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye.